we have things made out of cotton, or things we're talking about cotton, but other things about cotton. We can have linens, clothes, Q-tips, obviously, sometimes, yeah, thread, and the actual cotton plant, that's cotton plant. That's the source of the cotton. Yeah, just for that. Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin, but he was born on December 8, 1765 in Massachusetts. He died on January 8, 1825. And he graduated college in 1792, and by April 1793, he built the cotton gin. Without the cotton gin, it took hundreds of hours to separate the seeds, and normally they got about 50 pounds a day with the gin, but sometimes it only took about 1 to 7, depending on the workers, how many people were working on it. And he did not make a lot of profit because the farmers in Georgia claimed that they invented a new product, but it was really just really similar, and so he didn't get much money because they were able to build it and not have to use his. But later on in life, he made the musket, and that's how he made the profit in 1798.
He invented, well, there was already a machine, but it only worked for like the long grain cotton, but he invented one for short grain cotton, which led to a lot of growth in cotton industry.
On the page 417, it was talking about all about cotton trade and the cotton boom and the cotton belt. Cotton is king was a saying. What's the exact thing? James Henry Hammond. That is what he was the one that decided that cotton is king. Saying Southern cotton is one of the most important cottons in the world because it helped make cloth in England. Factors manage trade, and factors are crop brokers. And the farmers sold to the merchants, which the merchants made deals with the factors. So it was kind of like a chain cycle. And then hundreds of steamboats traveled the Mississippi River. It's in the same section. And that's helped travel cotton up and downstream.
Eventually there was hundreds of the boats carrying cotton everywhere.
And you can kind of see this picture. Yeah. Okay. Cotton belt is the cotton boom in 1840. The U.S. producing half of the cotton in the world. You can kind of see the picture. The cotton grass was used up the soil nutrients, and the cotton was a lot of work, so they had to turn to slave labor, which led to increasing of slaves in the United States. And this picture is of Georgia and South Carolina no longer leaders in growing cotton by 1860, when the heaviest production has shifted west to Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And they were having trouble with the soil because you had to rotate the nutrients. And so they had to rotate it to different parts of the United States.
The more black there was, the more cotton there was.
And that's the end of
Put it up.
yeah.
You just like hold on and then. Oh, sorry.
Come closer to the board.
And then you like
Close
put it
enough.
all the way down.
Close enough.
And then you put like all the way down and then it goes down.
I'm gonna turn the light off.
Okay.
Oh. Another part we did was on industry and other groups of crops. The leaders in the South were worried that they were too dependent on cotton, and they wanted to try getting different crops. So they did a lot of corn, which was a primary southern food crop, and by the 1830s, the top 3 corn states were in the South. Some other successful crops included rice, sweet potatoes, and wheat and sugarcane. That was sugarcane, like we tried in Spanish. Tobacco was the South's #1 crop, but it was very time-consuming because you had to cure the leaves and dry them before they were shipped out. And by 1830s, a slave discovered a way to improve drying by heating them with coal, so it went a lot faster. As a result of the cotton boom, hemp and flax became a major cash crop, and their fibers were used to make rope and sackcloth. Farmers used the sackcloth and rope to bundle cotton into bales, make it easier to ship. That was mainly the crops. And they also were improving on the industry. Many of the first factories in the South were built to serve farmers' needs by processing crops such as sugarcane. This is a cotton factory, cotton mill, which was in Maggie's presentation, that they had a lot of hard work, which I did not know until first. 1830s, the nation's first steam-powered sawmill was built in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. That one, but I'm pretty sure it's that one. In 1840s, there were 14 cotton mills, but by the 1850s, there was about 50, so there was a lot more. Some were old-fashioned. Most built small-scale factories on a river fall for power, and a few steam-powered mills were made because there wasn't enough water power. Southerners like Hinton Rowan helped encourage industrial growth in the South. Joseph R. Anderson followed Helper's advice, and he became the owner of Traeger Ironworks. That's a picture of the building. And they were very productive, and they produced things like bridge material, cannons, and steam engines, and a bunch of other stuff. But that was the main thing. The economy faced competition from the north in England because they could produce it faster and cheaper. And as long as agricultural profits remained high, the South invested in land because it was easier for them.
Some of flaxseed, I'm not sure about him, but I know flaxseed for sure. Now these days, they have it out in stores, and it helps with fiber and protein. And it's like these little ground up seeds that you put in like milkshakes or whatever.
My mom puts them in pancakes.
Yeah, they're about anything as long as they're. And like sweet potatoes, I have sitting on my desk, became where you can make chips or you can make sweet potatoes with sweet. And sweet potatoes are used for a lot of different flavors. I think sweet potatoes can be dry to get sweet. And then there's all this stuff, now there's rice cakes and all that.